Hi, I'm Inc. Editorial Director Bonny Ghosh. We've got a special segment for you today. Roger Nicholson, the Senior Vice President of Service Operations at Insperity, joins me to discuss a range of issues from this year's Inc. 5000 CEO survey. Insperity partnered with Inc. to underwrite a portion of the survey. Roger, thank you for joining us.
It's a delight to be here. Thanks for the invitation, Bonnie.
Let's talk about the big picture question first. Insperity's questions center on workplace and culture. Did the results reveal anything surprising to you about the Inc. 5000 companies and their people?
What stood out to me wasn't just one surprise. It was how aligned these CEOs are with what we're seeing in the broader market. Their top priorities: retention, culture, and adaptability. These leaders are navigating constant change, and they're doing it by investing in their people. What really struck me was how many CEOs emphasized adaptability and resilience as the most critical leadership qualities for the year ahead. And these qualities reflect exactly what small businesses need right now to face ongoing uncertainty and to seize new opportunities.
The survey respondents named their number one priority as retaining top talent, even more so than recruiting new employees. What did you think about their finding, and how does that compare with Insperity's data?
Yeah, that finding didn't surprise us, but it definitely validated what we've been seeing across the board. Retention as the top priority, followed by recruiting, is consistent with what we hear from our clients and we see in our own data. What's interesting is how that priority is evolving. It's not just about keeping people, it's about keeping them engaged, growing, and aligned. Generational shifts are playing a big role here. Boomers were focused on climbing the ladder. Gen X wanted career progression. But millennials and Gen Z, they're looking to expand their skills, take on meaningful projects, and work in environments that support flexibility and purpose. We've been helping companies navigate that shift for years. And retention isn't just a strategy. It's a reflection of how well you understand and support your people.
Now, as we know, workplace culture is going through some really big shifts at the moment. What did the CEO survey tell you about the workplace culture at the Inc. 5000 companies and where we might go from here?
Culture came through loud and clear. CEOs aren't just talking about it, they're prioritizing it as a competitive advantage. Many of them said, "Our culture is everything." But here's the challenge: scaling that culture as the company grows. It's one thing to have a strong culture when you have 50 people in an office. It's another when you have 500 across multiple locations. Hybrid work is now the norm. Nearly half of Inc. 5000 companies are using a hybrid model, and that adds complexity. But it also adds opportunity. The best companies are meeting that challenge with intention. They're not leaving culture to chance, they're building it on purpose. And what really stood out was how the CEOs described their culture. Words like collaboration, unity, growth, purpose, they came up again and again. It's a clear reflection of how leaders are intentionally shaping environments where people feel connected and driven. That means culture has to be more than a mission statement. It has to be lived, reinforced, and scaled. We see this with our clients every day. The ones who invest in culture, build trust, and create space for connection are the ones who retain top talent and grow sustainably.
One of the biggest challenges on most business leaders' minds is generative AI and the upskilling that's necessary to leverage this tech. Let's talk about those findings.
Now, this is where it gets exciting and a little daunting. The survey showed that 35% of CEOs agree that their teams are ready to leverage tools like generative AI. And almost half of them said the number one change to their talent strategy: investing in tech, AI skills, and proficiency for employees. At Insperity, we rolled out tools in our own operations, and we're seeing the benefits, but also the growing pains. Because AI isn't plug and play, it takes training, trust, and time. And the pace of change is staggering. Studies show that the average half-life of skills is now less than 5 years. And in some tech fields, it's as low as 2.5 years. And that could be further shortened by advances in AI. That's why upskilling has become the new retention strategy. It's not just about staying competitive, it's about keeping your people engaged and future ready. And that's especially true for younger generations who are hungry to learn and grow. The companies that will win in this space are the ones that invest in their people, not just their platforms.
The Inc. 5000 survey showed that CEOs believe manager effectiveness is high at Inc. 5000 companies. Now, Insperity also has a comprehensive manager impact report that tells a little bit more of a nuanced story. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, the Inc. 5000 CEOs aren't alone in feeling optimistic about their managers. As you mentioned, we did some research of our own, and the results were pretty eye-opening. When we asked C-suite folks how their manager's doing, about half said they're exceeding expectations. But when we asked frontline employees, only 20% agree. Managers themselves landed somewhere in the middle at 34%. And this isn't necessarily anybody's fault. Executives often have a different perspective than what's happening day to day on the ground. But here's why it matters. The companies with the standout managers were more than twice as likely to report strong business results. So think about that. It shows the perception gap isn't just about feelings, it's connected to real business outcomes. You know, the good news is that these gaps are fixable. We found that most managers are held back by pretty solvable things, like being overwhelmed with admin work or needing more support to strengthen their leadership skills. If you're curious to learn more, our Manager Impact Report breaks this down. It's free on the Insperity North Star Network and offers practical steps you can take to help your managers thrive and improve business results.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Roger, and going through the findings of our CEO survey.
It's an absolute pleasure, Bonnie. Thank you for the invitation.